The dietary iron that we eat comes in two major forms. We've got the heme iron and the non-heme iron. But before we talk about those, you need to understand that the iron that we ingest isn't the elemental iron. It's not the iron that we get in the periodic table. It's a charged form. In actual fact, there's two charged forms of the iron. So iron is written as Fe, but the ionic form is Fe2+, which we call ferrous iron, and the other one is Fe3+, which we call ferric iron. Now, these are the two ionic forms of iron that we can get from our diet. Importantly, when we look at non-heme iron, the predominant form is that of ferric iron. Now, heme iron is effectively one of these, but inside of a heme ring, what we call a porphyrin ring. Now, let me get my other marker here. The porphyrin ring looks, well, like a ring, and inside of it, we're going to have ferrous iron. So what we're actually ingesting in our diet is the Fe3+, the ferric iron as our non-heme iron, and the ferric iron in a porphyrin ring. They're the two types of ions that we ingest in our diet. Now, importantly, we need an acidic environment to help facilitate the absorption process of this iron. Importantly, we only absorb maximum 30% of the heme iron we ingest and 20% of the ferric iron that we ingest. I'll talk about that in a future video. So we know our stomach, which we've got here, produces a bunch of hydrogen ions. It makes the solution acidic. That is really important, particularly for the ferric ion, because if it was a neutral environment or even a basic environment, you'd have a whole bunch of hydroxyl ions hanging around. What they'll do is they're negative, they'll bind to the positive ion, and it will form insoluble ferric hydroxide. We don't want this because that cannot get absorbed. So we need an acidic environment to stop that from happening, okay? Very important. Now, this is going to move down into the duodenum, both of them. Now let's ignore the heme iron because it absorbs very easily through a heme iron transporter. So that's nice and simple, right? But let's talk about the ferric iron because the ferric iron actually cannot be absorbed in this form. The ferric iron is insoluble, can't be absorbed. So luckily we've got a protein here on the brush border cells of our intestines that turn it into the absorbable ferrous iron. Now we can absorb it. How do we absorb it into the enterocyte? We need a channel called DMT1. Now what this channel does is it needs acid. So it needs hydrogen ions to move down their concentration gradient through it. And ferrous iron here will piggyback on the process. So we need an acidic environment, one, to stop that insoluble ferric hydroxide crystal from forming, and we need it for the absorption process here from the hollow lumen of the gut into the enterocyte. So when it comes to vitamin C, right, vitamin C, also known as ascorbic acid, it facilitates those two processes, but also what it can do, well, it can help turn Fe3+ to Fe2+. So vitamin C is very important for the whole absorptive role. Does it help with heme iron forms, which we get from meats, for example, because heme iron is in hemoglobin and myoglobin? Not really, but it does help with the plant-based non-heme iron that we ingest.